Hi, my name's Ian Broom and I'm the CEO of Fliplet. Today I'm going to show you our new AI feature component. This allows you to use AI to generate new components inside Fliplet apps. It's amazing. Let me show you how it works. Okay, so this is my AI demo app and we're inside the demo one screen. So I'm just going to add in the AI feature component. Here it is. I'm just going to drop that in. Now, I'm going to give it a simple prompt, which could be used to help create a quick mock-up screen. So I'm just going to ask it to create me a table of example users. When I click on a user, show the user's detailed information, and I click generate. So it's now going to generate the code with AI, and then it will add the code into this screen. And I'll show you what happens next. I'll also show you how you can potentially modify the code that AI creates. Okay, so it's created a list of users. Now, these are just example users. So if I go into mode, I'll click on a user and I can see the details. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice quick mock-up, but I want to make some changes. So now I click on the AI feature component again, which only appears in edit mode. And I can now extend this. So I've got a couple of extra details that I want to add. So I'm just going to say, I want to be able to search the list of users. Okay, so now we're going to generate the code again. And now I'm going to test it in preview mode. So let's see if I can search for Smith. I can. Let's see if I can search for Brown. I can. Okay, and of course I assume if I search for Wilson and click on Wilson, I can then see their details as well. So now I'm going to go back again, and this time I'm going to stop using an example set. So I have created a data source previously. I actually used AI to help me create this mock data set. And if I view the data source, you can see I've got a set of users here. So now I'm going to tell it, create me a list, create me a table of users. When I click on the user, show the detailed information I want to be able to search, and I'm going to click generate. Now, what I've done is I've specified the user's data source. Now, because I've done that, it's going to be passing the information about the user's data source, but not the data in the data source, over to AI to help it generate the feature for me. Okay, so now we have a list of users directly from the data source, including myself here. And if I click on, here you go, you can see my details. Let's have a look and see if this is responsive. So it looks like it is. Fantastic. Okay. And of course, I could keep iterating through this. I'll just check that the search feature works. It seems to. I could keep adding additional features, etc. Show you the code that it produced. So if I click on developer options, you see here is the AI feature component that I added to the screen. And then what it's done is it's generated all of this HTML code and it's put it inside an appropriate div so that I am able to see the code that it's generated. It's also commented all the code, so I can read this, understand what's happening, which is very useful. And you can see here table rows will be injected dynamically, so it's very detailed. If I switch over to the CSS, you can see it says AI start AI feature, and it references the AI component's ID. And then it goes into information about what it's styling. So here it's styling for the user detail container, and it's added in some CSS code. And let's have a look at the JavaScript code. So again, you can see that it started the AI feature JavaScript code for the specific component. And then it's created documented JavaScript code for me. So I don't necessarily have to truly understand what's going on here. For example, I can jump down here and it says using square brackets for column names if they include spaces. In our case, most names don't have spaces. So you can see it's explaining why it's putting square brackets. It's also saying here, this line shows the details section, and then populate the cells into rows, etc. So the code is fairly easy for me to understand. And if you are a software developer, I'm sure this would be very easy. And you can see it's also added some error checking code as well, which is fantastic. So that's how, that's the first demo that I'm going to show you. Let me jump over to the second demo. Let's add in the AI feature again. Okay, so let's do a simple one. Create an event RSVP form. So generate. Okay, so that's done. It's created me a form, enter your name, enter your email, will you attend, yes, no. Okay, and I can RSVP. Now I haven't told it to store any of the data in a source. So at the moment it would just, it wouldn't do anything. I could click RSVP, nothing would happen. But let's see if we can do something more sophisticated. So create an event RSVP form, store the data in the data source, and add a list of activities if the user selects cycling. Ask the user for their height, weight, and skill level. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new data source, and I'm going to call this RSVP. And I'm going to configure the security rules. And I'll just double check the security rules because I need the app to be able to write to the data source. So all users can read. So I'm just going to give write, update, and delete. Should only do this if you know what you're doing, of course. And there we go. So now I click generate code. Okay, let's have a look at this. So select an activity, cycling. Oh, fantastic. It's now got conditions. And if I pick swimming, they disappear. And I'm going to pick cycling. And I'm going to say I am intermediate. Submit RSVP. Okay, RSVP submitted successfully. That's in data source if we have the record successfully created. We do! Fantastic! It's stored my information. So that is a fantastic demo of how you can build forms, add logic, potentially add other capabilities, and even get data stored in a data source. Let's jump to our third demo. This is going to be the most complicated one. So I'm going to add in the component again. And time. I'm going to add a prompt that I previously created. So I'll explain this after I paste it in. But what I did is I went to ChatGPT and I asked it to help me to create a US income tax calculator. Now, I will be honest, I don't know anything about US income tax, which is the reason why I asked ChatGPT. And then ChatGPT created a set of requirements for me. It's provided them as Markdown here, which is just a light form of formatting that AI understands very well. And I'm just asking it to create a US income tax calculator with an advanced results report according to these requirements. And then I pasted in the requirements that I got from ChatGPT. Now, I did make a couple of small tweaks. So if we scroll down here, I did tell it when it was talking about using charts to use a specific type of charting library. Let me just find where it is. Here we go. Include eCharts library as a script tag in the HTML and use it. So actually, I'm not sure that I need to say this. I think I just need to say use the eCharts library to deliver the chart, and everything else looks fine. So now I'm going to click generate code. Okay, so it's generated a US income tax calculator for me. What I am going to double click into the developer tools, check on the libraries. I have the eCharts library added, which is important. So we now go preview, and I'm just going to switch to computer view because I think this might be a little bit easier. Maybe get rid of this sidebar, make this a little bit bigger in the video. Okay, so filing status, married, wages, salaries, and tips. So I'll say 100,000. I'm going to leave these blank. Hopefully I don't have to fill them in. Itemized deductions, tax credits, other adjustments. That all looks fine. Calculate. Okay, so here we go. So it's total income, adjusted, deductions applied, taxable income, and that is broken it down by the tax bracket. It's got the credits applied, the final tax liability, the effective tax rate, and it's even given me a chart that is interactive and very pretty. So I can, of course, iterate on this similar to what you saw me do previously, but I think this is a really powerful demonstration of like how quickly you can get things created. And of course, as I previously highlighted, we'll get all the HTML, all the CSS, and all the JavaScript code. So if I want to understand what it's doing, I can literally go in, read the code, and understand. The AI feature component is available now. It's in beta, so please have a play. Please let us know your thoughts. We'd really love to hear what you think of it, and we intend to continue to actively work on it and make it even better. So we're looking forward to hearing what you find it useful for.